All right, I've got 4 final questions as we round the bases. We'll just throw these at you. You visited so many places. I know this is probably a hard one too. What's your favorite place to visit?
Oh gosh. Well, the places I've stayed longer probably are I've lived for several months in several places: India, Guatemala, Colombia. So those are some special places. But every place really has its own unique interests.
One thing that I don't think is unique for any of these places, maybe some are a little bit different, and they go about it in different ways, is the hospitality. It's something I've seen anytime I've gone to third world type of countries, and I haven't been to a ton, but I've been to enough to see that common theme that they will give you the shirt off of your back even if they have nothing tomorrow. Tell me about that and the hospitality in these places.
Yeah, the generosity of the families we work with is truly humbling. I've visited homes and been given, the only chair, the last scrap of food, but that's a sense of dignity also to be able to host someone in your home. And so being present with the families is very important to us.
I'll forever remember when I was visiting my brother in Togo, and I had been told, don't eat the street food, don't drink the local water, all that. And I'd done a great job of avoiding that and staying healthy. And we're leaving his village where he lived, his town, and moving on to go to a little sightseeing and some other places. And he said that this family, they were going to host a whole party outside. They made some kind of local brew. I don't know what it was. It was some kind of like a beer, kind of like a cider. And that was one thing I should not be having because, brew with the local water and all that type of stuff. Uh-huh. And so I passed, and my brother said to me, you can't, you have to have this. They actually reserved this that they would have sold and made money today just to honor your leaving. And so that hit me pretty good at the moment and later. It was worth every single moment of it. But that right there, that'll forever stick with me because it didn't matter if it was going to be a major sacrifice for their well-being for a day or two. They wanted to be able to take care of me.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think there are a million stories.
Absolutely.
Like that. It's just, it'll forever be with me. The third question as we round the bases, I know there are a million of these, but how about a story? It doesn't have to be a favorite that just pulled at the heartstrings or a great success story where is that, again, that forever reminder of why you do this?
The first thing that occurs to me is a mother that I met in India who had been sort of humiliated by her mother-in-law for years and physically abused by her husband. Through the program, she and the mother's group, she was able to take a small loan, start a business, and it became quite successful. When I saw her a few years later, that business had grown to a point where she had to hire some employees, including her husband. And the relationship, the power dynamic between her and her husband was completely different. She was safe, and they had learned to see her in a different way.
Oh, and I know there are a million of those stories out there. Last and final question, the walk-off question as we round the bases. Talked about how people can get involved. I'm just curious that the sentiment you get, I asked you about this a little bit before, of your sponsors that are here in the United States that have become attached to these families and what that has done for them and their perspective.
Yeah, a lot of times we feel like the big problems in the world are too big. It's just a drop in the bucket if I try to get involved in this. The genius of sponsorship is it breaks that down into I can do something. I can't change the whole world, but I can change the world for this one child. I can do that. It doesn't take that much money for one family's lives to be changed. And again, people can go to the website. Yes, unbound.org. Unbound.org. That's it. We'll have it in the show notes as well. By the way, too, I mean, if you're in, I've got a lot of people in my listening audience that are involved in organizations in Kansas City like a Centurions that have maybe been to your facility as well. It's a great event space. So I'll just throw that out there, and I'm sure you can go to the website and find that out as well. The cool thing in the room that we're sitting in here is it tells the stories, and it tells it beautifully with pictures and words and really explains what is going on. So this is a great place to have an event as well. Congratulations on everything that you guys are doing, and hopefully a huge rebound from COVID. Just keep on rolling forward, right? That's what it's all about. So I appreciate you hosting us here, hosting me here today, and continued success. Keep up the great work, Dan. Thanks very much. Let's end this.